Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of my knitting podcast. I'm Polly and I'm so excited to have you all here and to be filming this. I have been a knitter for about 5 or 6 years now. But I don't actually know anyone around me who knits. So knitting has always been a really kind of solitary hobby for me, just something that I do by myself. And never share patterns or like yarn with anyone. Yeah, just something that I do alone at home. I guess sometimes I tell my husband what I'm up to, but he doesn't really, I don't think he really gets it. But yeah, so it's always been just something that is very solitary for me. But recently I for some reason I was looking up knitting stuff on YouTube, and then I was recommended to watch a knitting podcast, and I actually can't remember who it was, but yeah, I in the beginning I was kind of like watching a knitting podcast. What is this going to be interesting? But okay, I have fallen completely totally down this like rabbit hole of watching people's knitting podcasts, and I just love it. It's so much fun. It's so interesting to like hear what they're making, what they finished, what they're what they think about the patterns or yarns that they've been using. And yeah, I usually watch it whilst I'm knitting myself, so it just feels like you're with friends, and I love it. They're amazing. They're so much fun. And I guess I wanted to be part of that community myself, so that's the reason why I decided to start making it. I'm usually not one for being in front of the camera. Like I actually quite hate just feel very awkward, but I'm gonna push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit and just try and do this because I want to be part of this community, and I think I really enjoy the videos I see from the ones that I watch normally. So yeah, hopefully this is, fun and interesting to someone out there, or even if it's not, I'm just doing it for myself, I guess. But yeah, so I guess just a little about me, just so you know who I am, this random person on the internet. My name is Polly. I'm originally from the UK, from a small place outside of the city of York, so northern England. But the last 10 years or so I've been living in Japan. So that's where I am right now. I live here with my husband, and I lived in Kyoto for about 7 years, and now past 3 years I've been in Tokyo. I'm a software engineer, but I used to be Japanese to English translator, so that's why I'm out here. But yeah, we really like living here, so we're still here. I don't know if we'll be here forever, but we're enjoying it for now. The knitting scene in Japan is actually quite good actually. Although it's not, they kind of have their own sort of ways of doing it, but yeah, there is good, like decent access to yarn stores and stuff like that. So I feel pretty lucky to be here. But yeah, so that's a little about me. I have today a bunch of stuff to show you. So I guess because this is my first episode, like I feel like it's a little bit cheating. Like I have a bunch of stuff that I've just sort of finished over the last month or two, that I have waiting here. So I have them in a pile down here, which is why I'm looking down here. But yeah, so I don't think I would normally have as much as I have to show you today, but it's a bit of a bumper one since it's the first one. And also I've been doing a bunch of Christmas knitting, so my mom and my sister this year we decided to hand make stuff for each other. So I've just been so busy like knitting for those things, and I haven't really knit anything for myself recently. I'm quite looking forward to finishing all these presents so I can actually get back to knitting something for myself. But yeah, so I'm gonna go through that, and I've got a few things that are on my needles at the moment, which I will show you guys. And yeah, also one small yarn acquisition. So yeah, it's pretty your average run-of-the-mill knitting podcast, but yeah, hopefully that's interesting. And yeah, oh, I guess I should probably say that I don't have like a professional setup at all. I'm just filming this on my phone. And I do live next to a road and also quite a major train line, so it's actually the bullet train that's going by, but it's really loud. I think the mic probably will pick it up a bit, but I'm hoping it's not too bad. I apologize if it is really loud and annoying. I'm gonna try and see if there's anything I can do to take that sound out, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So knitted finished objects. I've got lots to show you. Maybe I'll just start off with these socks. So these socks, God, they were a long time in the making, but I've finally finished them. These are the pixel stitch socks. This is a pattern by Pearl Soho, and basically it's really just like you have sort of a base color, which is white in my case, and then you just sort of knit one in the base color, and then you knit one in another contrasting color. Obviously you could pick anything. So this yarn is actually, oh god, I don't even know what it is actually. There's some like random, it's by Opal, I know that much, but it's just some sort of random standard, box standard like sock yarn. And for some reason I decided it would be a good idea to have this like crazy like pink, blue, yellow, pink, yellow, blue, like I don't even know why I picked out this colorway. I don't know, I gotta say, like it's pretty in your face. So I needed, maybe I bought it especially for this pattern, I'm not sure, but I knew that it would need something to just to tone it down, because it is like, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, so this is the pixel stitch pattern by Pearl Soho, which is free if you're interested. I'll try and link everything that I'm making, all the patterns and stuff down below, so you guys can check it out if you want. But yeah, so usually I actually have a preferred way of making socks, which is toe up. So I usually toe up, Turkish cast on about 8 or so, and then increase the toe, and then just work the I also do it after foot heel most of the time. So I just knit like a tube until it's kind of like long enough to go up to the calf, and then I will after I'm done, I usually cut into the stitches and then pick up the stitches and sew in the knit in the after foot heel. That's usually the way I do it. I've made quite a lot of socks, but so the thing is, like, my mom loves to get handmade socks for Christmas, so she was saying to me like, oh, I'd love to have some handmade socks, so I felt like I needed to make some, and I've just sort of been making socks for her ever since, the past maybe 3 years. Yeah. So I've made at this point maybe like, well, I haven't made loads. I mean, I've made like a handful of pairs at least, but recently, maybe at Christmas, I was able to go back and see her, and she was wearing some of the socks that I made her, and oh my god, like I just have like the worst time making socks that fit her, especially. So she's actually the only person I've ever made socks for. Like, I've never even made some for myself, so I really want to make some for myself, and then I can actually see, like, maybe that will help me get them to fit properly. But because her feet are like slightly smaller than mine, I think she's about a shoe size smaller than me, so yeah, so the socks that I make her, yeah, so sorry, I went to visit her, and she was wearing the socks that I made for her, and they were like so big and loose on her that they like roll around on her feet, and like the heel was like on top, and like it just wasn't staying where it was supposed to stay at all, and I just felt like so awful that I was just making all these like trash socks for her. So yeah, I'm really trying to that's why I started to do the afterthought heel. This is the first one that I did it on, and it's worked out. I tried these on, obviously, and I think they fit pretty well, so I hope that these are a lot better. Or actually, these are probably more my size than her, so I might send these to my sister instead, but yeah, anyway. So afterthought heel, I really enjoyed knitting it that way. I felt like I had a good control over exactly where the heel would go, because I think my issue is usually that the foot is way too long, Also probably that I maybe needed to knit something like a narrower foot maybe. But yeah, so definitely like the foot being too long is one of the major problems that I have. So I think it's just, I would never really know like when to start the heel. Like I know it's supposed to be like what is it, like 2.5 centimeters before, or is it 2 inches or something, whatever. But it just never seems to work out for me. So I don't know. I enjoyed the process of the afterfoot heel because I felt like I had more control over exactly where it was going. And also you can just do like a tube, just knit normally until it's like long enough, and that's just very easy. And then so if you're kind of like, you don't feel like getting out, like checking out how to do the heel or whatever, like you don't have to do it right then and there. So yeah. The wool, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's opal for both. It's not it's not very soft actually. I don't know, I've not really ever enjoyed knitting socks until very recently. Like this is kind of a new change for me, and recently I do feel like I enjoy them, but I've gone on a sort of an adventure, shall we say, of buying like better quality sock yarn, and I think that's really helped me sort of enjoy the process more. So up until now I usually bought like quite sort of cheaper sock yarn, and I think that's one of the reasons why, yeah, it never feels that great. This one was very cheap, so I think going forward I'm definitely going to try to just have better yarn and just make like higher quality socks. So yeah, I actually bought some for myself, which I'll show you later. But yeah, I'm excited to make my own first pair of socks. So but yeah, one interesting thing, I actually knit the toe of these with there's like knitting nylon stuff that you can get, because I know my mum actually ends up like darning the socks a lot, so I wanted to try that out and then just to see how it would go. And it's just like a little bit of elastic, like there's like little bits, like I need to cut this off, but yeah, so I just held that strand as I was knitting, and it messes up your tension like so much. Like I don't know if you can, yeah, you probably can see like, so that I stopped about here, and you can definitely see like as soon as I stop, like the stitches they're not as like, they're much tighter when I've got the elastic on, so it's quite hard to do them both at the same time. It really affects the tension, but I don't think it's not something that you'll really notice once it's on. I wanted to do the elastic on the heel as well, but it was quite annoying actually to have the elastic because it doesn't come off the spool very nicely. So and it just makes it really yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't be bothered to do it for the heels, which is actually the area that probably needs it more than the toe. But anyway, I'm just gonna see how these hold up, and then I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and add in future socks, add the nylon in, but I don't know. Anyway, that's these Pixel Stitch socks by Pearl Soho. Next up, I also have another pair of socks. So these are really like, this is really nice wool. This is like so soft. These are so nice. They're 100% merino. I've got the label here. It's Wool Folk Tov. Hopefully you can read that. Yeah, this is a little bit expensive. 3,500 yen, which is wasn't cheap. But yeah, so 100% merino wool. So there's no nylon in these. And it's much heavier. It's not fingering weight, so I don't think it's particularly made for socks, but I just really wanted to make like a really luxurious pair of like bed socks or just house socks, you know. Like I don't think these will be for my mum, but I'm gonna tell her like don't wear them with shoes because you'll just wear a hole in them probably. But yeah, just something really nice to keep her feet warm in the winter, because her house is really cold. So yeah, these are basically these are, what is it, Petit Knits Sunday socks. Yeah, However, again, like I said, I usually do toe up, so that pattern is cuffed down, and I don't know what kind of heel it is actually, but so yeah, I did these toe up. I also, but I didn't do after 4 heel on these. I actually did just a German short row, which gave me a bunch of holes in the heel, so I had to go back and like darn up the holes, so it's a bit, maybe that will help it, give it some strength in the heel maybe. But yeah, so I don't know, I need to improve my, I'm kind of on a journey at the moment to like try out different sock techniques and just see what works with me. I think when I make the pair for myself, I'm going to follow a pattern and just see how that goes. Yeah, and I think I'm just gonna try to just try out different techniques, especially for the heel. So yeah, let me know if you guys have like favorite sock patterns or techniques. Like I'm gonna try and just try out a bunch. So there's a lot of sock knitting coming up in my future. But yeah, these are the Sunday socks by Petite Knit. So luxurious. I don't know what. This is made by Woolfolk. I don't know if I actually said that. It's called Woolfolk TOV or TOV, or I don't know. I don't know what color. I think it might be. It just says TOV 10 or T10, so that's probably it. But yeah, these are so nice. I actually really want a pair for myself. I was actually planning to follow the Sunday socks pattern for these, but it was a I don't know how much was in it. It was, I don't know how many grams it was, or yards or meters, but I was afraid that I wouldn't have enough for the cuff. So I just wanted to use up the entire ball of this, so that's why I did toe up, just so I could make sure that I could just knit until I didn't have any left. But yeah, I usually send like a small amount to her, like of leftover yarn, so that she, in case it does need darning on the heel, like she has some available, so she can just do that. So yeah, I just knit until I had just about enough to send to her extra, and then yeah, just bound off. But yeah, I do want to try the Sunday socks again, but like actually make it via the actual pattern instead of just like pretending that it's, you know, doing my own like way construction and then like just following the actual like knit to purl to pattern. So yeah, I think I'll revisit that pattern once I've got more yarn that fits it. But yes, really like these are amazing. God, I really want them for myself. But let me just have a sip of tea. I'm drinking, what am I drinking? Yorkshire Gold. If I've got any fellow Brits watching, you will know it's all about the Yorkshire tea. It's the best. No, I'm kidding, but not really. But okay, next one. I made a hat. This is Pearl Soho's, what is it? Classic ribbed hat. Super basic. Yeah. There's not a lot to say about this really. This pattern is, I think it's usually maybe around this time of year, especially like the northern hemisphere is getting to winter time. Like it's usually pretty high up in the Ravelry ratings. So I think a lot of people do make this pattern. It's so basic. It's just knit one, purl one, and then until you get to the decreases, and then you, yeah, you just decrease it until you're done. Make any changes. I think some of the pattern, some of the projects on Ravelry said that it's a little bit pointy, like quite long and pointy. So someone had a suggestion for kind of making it a little bit less pointy, so I just followed that. It's just like I think it was just like starting the decreases a little bit earlier or something like that, or not as many decreases or something. Anyway, yeah, just really basic. This yarn is, I really like this yarn. So I wasn't actually intending to make this or do this, but I walked into the store and I just saw this. So I've got a bit left over. I just really like this color. I don't know whether it's really grey out today. It's a bit rainy, so I don't know how to put the lights on. I don't know if the color will come out very well on the camera, but it's quite a sort of cool toned lilac. Just very, yeah, I don't know, something about it. doesn't look as good when it's in the, what do you call it? The bowl. It looked really nice in the hang. But anyway, it's, what is it? It's this. The brand is called Quinoa, I think. Or quinoa, or I don't know. Quinoa, I'm gonna go with that. And then it's a luxury blend DK, made in Peru. The colorway is called Kalamata, and it is 70% fine Junin wool, 30% baby suri alpaca. And yeah, this yarn was really nice to knit with. It did. I guess when I was knitting this, because it's like, because it's rib, and rib can sometimes come out a little bit messy, right? So I was a bit worried that it would be quite, it didn't look that good before I blocked it, but after I blocked it, it's pretty nice. I'm happy with this. But I made a adult small for this. And originally I started off with an adult medium, and like, after I knit a few inches, I just tried to like put my circular needle over my head and just try it on. It just felt really, really loose. So I frogged it and cast on again for a small size. And it is better, but it's still actually really loose. Like, I feel like I could, yeah, it's really loose. I don't know, this probably doesn't look good with my hair right now, but I feel like, yeah, I could have even sized down. Like, that's how big this hat is. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make this pattern again, because it is really loose. Like, I think I want to try something like, I don't know, I know that Petite Knit has a really nice beanie, maybe just like stockinette style, so I think I might try that. Next, I actually made this pattern for my husband before we got married, and just like, it's massive on him. He like never wears a hat because it's massive, but I forgot that it was this same pattern until I finished, and then I looked at my Revelry projects and I was like, oh, it's that one. Yeah, it is a really loose pattern, but it's very easy, very simple. And yeah, I think as long as you get the sizing like fairly okay, like I made a small here, and it's fine. Like, it's not gonna fly away or like fall off my head or anything, but like it is pretty loose. So it's just casual, but I like it. I really like the color. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't planning to buy this yarn or like make this hat, but I really like the color, and then I was thinking, what can I make with it? And I wanted a hat, but I think I might sorry, I might end up giving this to my sister, because I don't know, I'm not sure if I got enough. You know when you make stuff for people and like it takes ages, and then you've put so much effort in already, but like what you have to show for it is like tiny. So it's kind of like that sort of situation. I actually sewed her something, but I might put this hat in. Although I guess I'm gonna give her those socks, but I don't know. We'll see how generous I feel when I put together the box of presents to send off, because apparently the postal service in the UK keeps on striking. So I just hope that I need to get these off like next week. Hopefully they'll get there in time. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, that's that one. I'll put this yarn down. What is next? Oh, I guess I'll just go through this one. This is so now I said that my mum usually wants socks for Christmas, but she asked this year for me to make her this scarf. So let me just hold that up. It's very lacy. Actually, maybe this way is better. This is the Rowan, what is it? Oh, sorry, it's the Falcon scarf. Falcon scarf, it was published in one of, so the yarn is Rowan Fine Art. I actually have one left over here. I'll show you guys. It's fingering weight. It's lovely. It's got like teals, greens, dark greens, olivey color. Yeah, so my mum picked this out. She really liked this yarn. It's made with merino wool, kid mohair, and mulberry silk, so very luxurious. It's very soft. It feels lovely. So I think this pattern was originally published in maybe Rowan's own pattern book, maybe. But yeah, so she asked me if I could make this for her, and I said yes, of course, because it's my mother. Of course I'm gonna make it for you. But I don't like knitting lace like this really at all, so I can't say it wasn't a particularly fun project for me. It was just kind of okay, let's just cast it on and get it done. And then why didn't I like it? The pattern itself is fine. Like it's just a 8-row, is it 8 rows? Something, yeah, 8-row repeat. But usually with lace, like usually what I've found in the past is that the lace pattern will repeat over, for example, 10 stitches, and you can put stitch markers in at the beginning of that repeat, and then like as you go through the row, like you know if you've messed up by how many, because the stitch markers keep you like on track. But for this one, it wasn't that simple. Like the pattern repeats within the row, like they didn't line up nicely that I could put in stitch markers. Sometimes like if I'd put stitch markers in, like I would have had to be like moving them around, because like at some points what is the lace repeat in the first row, in like the third row, it's different, and like the stitch markers would have been just in the way of like the combined, like the knit two together or whatever it is. And yeah, like so I couldn't use stitch markers to like orient myself like in the pattern, and that made it really hard. So most rows, I'm gonna say, like be honest, like almost every single like lace row I came to the end of the row and I had like I was like missing 1 stitch or 2 stitches, or I had one too many stitches or something, and I'm just like, oh, we somehow got through it though. It came out, it actually looks great. You can't tell, but there's so many mistakes in this, like I'm not even joking. Like, but you can't actually, like, you can see it here, like I've messed up the pattern here. It's supposed to be a diamond, but it's just like more like a splodge. But it looks fine. You can't, and no one's gonna tell. My mom is gonna be thrilled to get this anyway, regardless. So yeah, she really wanted like I think she likes to have like kind of shorter scarves so they can just wrap around her neck and stuff. So yes, she gave me the exact measurements that she wanted for the length, so I blocked it to that length. And yeah, that worked out great. So I'm looking, you know, even though I didn't really enjoy knitting it, like I'm excited to give this to her because I think she's really gonna like this. She loves, apparently she's into greens at the moment, so yeah, that'll be really nice for her to get. So excited to have that one go off. See, one more. I told you I've got a lot to show you guys. Like there's so much to show you guys. Okay, what is this? It probably doesn't even look like anything. Like this thing is so hard to show. It's a jumper for a dog. So it's very much like a 3D, something that's supposed to be like worn in 3D, and it doesn't lend itself to showing very well flat. But hopefully, well, like hopefully you can kind of see, maybe if I zoom out a bit. But yeah, these are 2 front leg holes, and then it would just kind of go down and down the back. Yeah, this is the Alva, what's it called? Alva dog sweater. So it was designed by Sari Nordland. It's just got this like really cute, like, what do they call this? Ganzi pattern. So just like combinations of like pearls and knits and pearl stitches, and you just make a really nice pattern. And this yarn has so much drape to it. Like, to be honest, I don't know if I picked the right yarn for this project, but hopefully, God, I just hope it fits the dog. This is from my mum's dog. Her name is Bessie. She's my mum adopted her. She's blind in both eyes, poor Bessie. But yeah, I think it's gonna fit. Fingers crossed it's gonna fit. We'll see. But yeah, so this is a really cool pattern. It was very easy to knit. Also it's one of those patterns where like if you go wrong you can't really tell, because just like that. It's just that kind of pattern. But yeah, I found this pattern. I was just on my Instagram like discover feed, I guess, and there was a picture of this pattern when it was like first released. So I think Sari designed it for a pet company, and yeah, they released it for free in the beginning. So I immediately kind of downloaded it and had it. Went to buy the yarn almost like straight away, to be honest, because I was really excited for this. But yeah, I'm just really glad that I happened to just stumble upon it, because I really wanted to make something for Bessie. But yeah, so I think I just saw like a few days ago that Sari posted that the pattern is now available on Ravelry, and it's not free anymore, unfortunately, but I don't think it was too expensive. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I'll link it below. So check that out if you're interested in dog sweater. Definitely, it was a super easy pattern as well, so I recommend if you are looking for something cute for a furry friend. This one is good. The yarn that I use for this, it's a Japanese company called Daruma, and it's called, what's it called? It's called Airy Wool Alpaca. It's 80% merino wool, 20% alpaca. And yeah, it's definitely, I mean, airy is probably the operative word here. It's very light, just very drapey, like, I don't know, it really holds like no shape at all, so I don't know, it probably isn't the right choice for this project, but I already bought it, so we had to persevere. But yeah, I have one entire ball left over, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I don't know, maybe I'll try and make something small. My friends just had a baby, so maybe I can make something with it, but I'm not sure. It wouldn't be very, don't know if it'd be hard to wash. Anyway, I'll try and figure something out for that. But yes, that was really fun. So I'm so excited I'm gonna have to ask my sisters to take some like Instagram worthy shots of this dog sweater. So hopefully I can get those and show you at some point. But, all right, this is my last, is it? Yes, last finished object, and this is a ginormous monstrosity. Actually, not a monstrosity at all. I love this thing. This is so huge. This is, oh God, I don't know if you can even like see it, but hopefully you can. This is Snoqualmie. I don't know how to say this word. I think it might be a place in America. So I apologize if I'm really like butchering the name, but yeah, Snoqualmie maybe. Yeah, just a massive cabled cardigan, and I love this thing so much. Okay, first of all, let me just refer to my notes. Let's see. Oh, the pattern is published by Brooklyn Tweed. The designer is called Michelle Wang. And I made this in Cascade Yarn's ecological wool. So ecological wool, those hanks are massive. There's like almost 450 meters in one, so they are huge. You know what, I'm gonna put this on. But yeah, so I bought 3 of those. I think it was maybe less than the pattern suggested, but I looked at the projects on Ravelry, and most people who use that yarn actually use less than suggested, I think. So I was hoping I could get away with just 3, and I did. And even then I had plenty to do all the seaming and stuff. But yeah, I almost used up all of it. And I knit the sleeves. I actually knit the sleeves like several inches longer than the pattern suggested, because so the way that you construct this cardigan is you knit the sleeves. These are knit flat, then you knit the back flat, you knit the, oh God, sorry, it's like covered in my hair. You knit the right side, left side, and yeah, then once you've got all the pieces and you block them all, you attach the shoulders, the front side pieces to the back at the shoulder, and then you set in the sleeves, So it's my first time for doing all of this. I've never made a seamed jumper or a cardigan before, so it was quite interesting to just see how all that works. Setting in the sleeves it went fine. I think one of them was like slightly not going in as well, but yeah, I put on a podcast. I just took my time with it, just kind of got in that meditative mood, and like it was fine. And yeah, once you've got everything sewed together, then you go around this part, pick up the stitches for this, like what do you call it? I don't know, collar maybe? This isn't really a collar, but whatever you call this bit. And yeah, then you do some ribbing, and on this side you put in the buttonholes. So it's my first time to do like knit buttonholes, and they're okay. They're not like, for some reason I have like a giant massive hole on either side, but I don't know. I keep telling myself that I'm gonna go in with a bit of spare yarn and like just close those up, but I still haven't done that, so so no, I feel like it's never gonna happen at this point, so but I can live with it, it's fine. And then, yeah, then the last part was just getting these buttons. So thankfully there's quite a cute like button store nearby here, so I went there and chose these. They actually weren't really my first choice. I don't know what I was looking for, but it wasn't this, but yeah, I couldn't find exactly what I wanted, but this was the closest thing, so we're going with it. But I actually think now that they're on, I think they look fine, they look great. So yeah, excited to have that on. Another modification I made was adding a pocket. So I had one of these for both sides, there's one here too. And for this, it's just, so you start at the bottom, you knit, I don't know if you can see this, sorry. You start at the bottom here, and then you just knit up, and then you stop once you get to this row, and then you do like a row of pearls, and then you just like, you put these stitches on either side at hold, and then you just knit here, like just stockinette, like off flat, for I don't know however many inches this is, and then once you have enough inches in the pocket, then you just restart the pattern from the row that you stopped at, and pick up the stitches, re-put on the stitches onto your needle from the sides. Yeah. This is great, like I'm really glad I put this pocket in, because like I put my phone in there like all the time. They're actually, to be honest, they're probably a little bit too big, like they gave out a little bit, but it's fine. This cardigan is really, it's something that I made just to have at home really, like it's going to be something that I just wear just throughout the winter at home. I work remotely most of the time, so yeah, I'll just be wearing it, I think, indoors, so, which is good because this yarn is pilly as hell. It's, oh god, like I don't know if you can even see, like it's like so pilly like already. And I've only had this finished probably, I don't know, a couple of weeks now. I've been wearing it proper. But it's really, really pilly, especially on the arms and like here where my arms touch the body. But it's fine. I'm not bothered about it, to be honest. Like I have one of those de-peeling machine things, the way you like, looks like a little gun. Yeah, so I've used that once already, but I think it's just something that I have to accept for this yarn, to be honest. Like it's just how it is, because it's very soft, and it's not very tightly spun either, so the ply isn't helping it keep its shape, but that's all right, I don't mind. I'll probably just de-peel it from time to time, and maybe eventually it will stop pilling. I don't know, does that happen? Like if you de-peel something enough, like does it stop pilling eventually? Maybe. Anyway, that's what I'm aiming for. So yeah, it took ages to finish this cardigan. Like I ordered the yarn for this back in February, and I think I knit most of the sleeves, but not all of them, not all the way. So it went on like a long time hiatus, probably about half a year. Over summer I just didn't pick it up at all, and then yeah, once summer ended and it just started to get like a little bit cooler, I was like, okay, right, it's time, I've got to finish this off because it's getting cold and like I really want to wear this. So yeah, I I really got into it. And the rest of it was very quick to finish. Well, I mean, it's like, it is a massive piece of knitting, so it wasn't super quick, but it does feel like you're making good progress, because like, I think a lot of people say this, like when you work on something like a pattern like this, like you can see visually, like you see the progress that you're making, because like the cables come into being as you go up. And yeah, it's like, okay, I'll just do one more cable, like one more cable. And so yeah, it was fairly quick. Like yeah, like obviously a lot of knitting, but despite that, it was fairly quick. So well, even then it probably still took me about a month to finish the rest of the pieces, because then I also have to wait around for it to block and like dry, and it took ages to dry. So but yeah, really like this. I love, like, I'm so proud to have like finished this. This is definitely the biggest thing I've knit. Is it? Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah. I have crocheted a blanket before, but it wasn't. Yeah, this is definitely, like, knit wise, this is the biggest thing, and like probably the thing that I'm like most happiest with. I've made a few jumpers in the past, but like, I don't know, like all the jumpers I make tend to, I don't know, normally I didn't use the right yarn, or the pattern was like slightly off, or I didn't, the sleeves were not quite long enough or whatever. I made a lot of them like in my first like 1 or 2 years of knitting, and I just didn't, I didn't really know about like how to choose like nice yarn and stuff like that yet. So yeah, they didn't come out like too well. I almost never wear them, but this one I'm getting a lot of wear out of it already. Like, so yeah, I'm really happy to have this just to lounge around in. So it's going to keep me really warm. I'm going to take it off because it's actually quite hot over this jumper. Yeah, so Snoqualmie, or I don't know. Anyway, really like this one. Great pattern. Although I don't want to make any cables for a while. Like, I'm cabled out. It's crazy. Oh wait, I guess I guess, like, sorry, I should talk about the pattern, I guess. The pattern is really easy to follow. I followed it exactly, apart from making the sleeves a little bit longer and adding the pockets. Everything was as it suggested. I can't remember what size I made. I will write it down. But yeah, it was pretty easy, very easy to follow. Although this pattern is really easy to mess up, because like the sleeves were the first thing I made, because I wanted to do them 2 at a time. And I just put them on my needles and did them first, and like that was before I kind of got into the groove of like the cable pattern and sort of understood it more. And I just made so many mistakes in the beginning for like the cables. Hold on, it's on this side. It's like, so after a while I realized where I had made a mistake with the cable, and I went back. So you can go back with cables, and like if you ladder down you can like switch which way round they are. So I did manage to do that for most of them, but I noticed the other day that there's a few where you can see here, here. So it's like, it's more of a nest shape when it should be like going over, like crossing over, but I haven't done that. Like, I've gone the wrong way, so it just ended up looking like just a little S shape when it should be crossed over like this. But so a lot of that kind of thing. Just a lot of cables going the wrong direction. If I wasn't concentrating in the beginning, like I had to really look at the pattern to know which way I'm supposed to be doing it. But after a while, like, you do so many cables in this project, like you start to be able to just know like instinctively like which way around, like where, if the stitches should go over or under. And yeah, I also learned how to do cables without needing cable needle, and that really helps. So once I like picked up knew what I was doing with the cable pattern and was able to do it without the cable needle, it went so fast. It was much easier. But yeah, the places where I first started have a lot of mistakes. But yeah, so that, oops. That's that. Yeah, really yeah, very happy with that one. Okay, I think, yeah, that was my last finished object. So now I've got a few like works in progress, but not To be honest, this is just like the bulk of what I've been working on recently, so I feel like I'm just kind of, I've crested the hill, I'm coming down the other side, like I'm almost there with all this like gift knitting, but not quite. I just have a few things to like finish off. So first of all, I have this, I have another pair of socks. So, oops, dropping this yarn everywhere. Oh, this one is off the needles, okay. So, God, this is the, it's the Ovis, these are the Ovis socks by the Petite Knitter. So not Petite Knit, but Petite Knitter, the Petite Knitter. Actually, this is actually better. So, okay, this first, I made this sock first, and I don't know what I was thinking, like I totally didn't even like look at the pattern properly. So like you can see like just this like this just so messed up. Like I don't know what I was thinking. I just sort of freestyled it without like properly checking what the pattern is supposed to look like. But yeah, so again, this yarn is, I don't know what, like, it just, I sometimes buy like just random like sock yarn. It's softer than the opal, but I'm pretty sure it's just something really basic, like it's probably opal again. I'll see if I can find it actually. If I can, but yeah, it's nothing special, definitely. But yeah, so I just had the brown, and then I found this like mohair, which I've lost a label for, sorry, I can't tell you what this is, but oh no, I've got a label, sorry, there's one in here, okay. It's just like some random like Japanese brand that I found in the store. Like, yeah, just called Sky Yarn Ski, oh, Ski Yarn? Ski Premium Mohair. Yeah, so it's not really anything special, but the reason why I bought this mohair is because it had some nylon in it. I don't know, I'm not sure, I mean, that mohair that's got like plasticky bits in it is probably not, it's not super high quality, but it's fairly soft. And I just wanted something like mohair-y for these socks because, so you see at the top there's like a white blob, so this is gonna be a sheep. I'm just like, I haven't, so there's like a little head, like a black head, and then you add in like the legs as well. So but I'm gonna do that with duplicate stitch because I don't know, I felt like that would be the easiest way to do it. So I'll add in a little head and little legs. Yeah, on the second sock, you can see that my tension is not great on these sheeps. I think because there's like it's like 6 stitches in a row for the sheep, so it's not, you've got to kind of like catch your floats on the back for the brown as you're doing the sheep, and it's not great. It hasn't come out very well there, so I was thinking on the second one maybe I'll just duplicate stitch the entire sheet for the second one. But yeah, so the second one I actually did look at the pattern properly, because after I realized I totally messed it up on this one, I was thinking about maybe I should just like redo the sock, like redo this one, but that's a lot of work, and yeah, I want to send these off for Christmas, so I'm just gonna roll with it. It's fine. I'm sure I'm gonna give this to my mom, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, they're a bit of an experiment, to be honest. From being like a really small baby, I just have really liked sheeps. I always had like sheep toys. So yeah, as soon as I saw this sock, I was like, oh, these are so cute. I need to make them. And yeah, but I kind of wish that I'd chosen a different color of mohair, to be honest, because it's a little bit too like icy white. It could do with having some more warmth in it. Like I don't know if you can see it too well on the camera, but like it's a little bit too sort of cool tone. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it'd probably be easier if I just show you the mohair. It doesn't look that bad here actually. It does look a little bit creamy, but in the sock itself it just looks really bright white. But yeah, I've got loads of this left. I don't know why. Oh, I'm holding it double. Probably should have just done like an actual strand of, this is my first time really working with mohair, so just held it like double stranded, but I probably should have had like an actual like white fingering yarn, like wool, and then held the mohair with that, and that would have turned out a lot better, I think. But I might do another version of these socks if I can be bothered. Maybe for myself, because I really like sheep. But yeah, these are a work in progress, so but they're almost finished. All I really need to do, so this is the afterthought, I need to do the heel, and then I just need to duplicate stitch the sheep and then put the head on, the head and legs. Yeah, like they're so close to being done, but they've sat like this for, I don't know, at least a month. I just haven't got around to it. But yeah, I think because I was like, oh, should I remake it? Or like, is it worth it? But I think I'm just gonna send them off. Like, there's not a lot of time, so I'm just gonna send them off like this. Full of mistakes as they are, and yeah, I think my mum will still like them. So that's these the Ovis socks. I saw the petite knitter actually has, she's made like a bunch of different like versions of this now. I think maybe there's like a jumper with it, which looks cute. But yeah, check it out if you like sheep. Next up, I have, well, okay, I've finished one of these. I'm just making like this tiny little sweater. Look at this. Oh my god, this is so cute. Here is one, and I'm currently in the middle of making another one. So this is the, what is this? It's called, the pattern's called Tiny Sweaters by Miriam L. Felton. And I just thought this would be like a super cute like little tree ornament. I'm gonna put like just a loop through, a loop of yarn, and then my plan is to embroider the first name of my sister and my mum onto each one, and then it's kind of like a Weasley sweater from Harry Potter. I just think that would be so cute. Also, just look at it, it's so cute. I love it. Yeah, I think, no, I love it so much that I think I'm gonna make one for myself and my husband, and we can have it on our tree, even though it's a fig tree. But yeah, it's so cute. I love it. I don't know, I didn't expect to like this so much, but it's so cute. But yeah, so I've made that one, and I'm just in the middle of this red one, which is turning out a bit like Santa Claus-y, but yeah, this is like, it's really easy, super simple, very quick. I just haven't got around to finishing this off yet, but yeah, really, this pattern is free. I couldn't believe it actually, because it's really cute, and she also gives you some like there's a pattern for doing like a Christmas tree or like Christmas lights or a Nordic star. If you want to, you can like embroider that on the front, so that's in the pattern too. So yeah, I will link that below, and then you can check that out if you want. Really like these, so cute. And last but not least is my, okay, so I have some more socks. God, I feel like my life is just about socks recently. But yeah, so I'm just making some basic socks for my husband. Oh god, I don't have the label for these either. This is just what is this? I don't even know what yarn this is. God, sorry, I need to get better at knowing what yarn I'm using. It's just some like random tweed yarn. Yeah, I'm just gonna do, this is just doing, I'm just doing my like my normal sock pattern for this. So it's oh, sorry if you can hear my husband banging around. This is, it's toe up, Turkish cast on about 8 I think, and then I just increase the toe into the foot, and then I'll just knit a tube, and then afterwards I'll go back in and do the afterthought heel. So yeah, that's my plan for these. I've never knit him a pair of socks, and I just felt like I needed to make something for him. He always has like the coldest feet in winter, so I don't know if these will keep him that warm. Actually, the yarn isn't that good quality, but I thought it was cute with like the felt in it. Not felt, sorry, tweed. Yeah, I like what it looks like. I think it's just nice and manly, you know. Not that matters, but yeah. It's my first time using, I don't know if it's navy, I think it's black actually. it's my first time using this dark of a yarn actually, and like now I know why everyone says like it's so hard to knit with like black yarn, because I can't see what the hell I'm doing. I'd recently bought a lamp actually, so I knit with that like shining straight on here, and then I'm like, okay, I can finally see what I'm doing. But like it's so hard to be like, oh, did I do a increase in the last row or not, or yeah. So oh god, these are a bit of a trial, but yeah, I think this would be nice. Maybe I'll make it into a Christmas present for him. So yeah, I don't know. These are just, it's kind of one of those, I just like to have something that's just very simple and I can just have it at the side when I'm watching TV or whatever. I could just reach for it and just knit a few rows here and there. So that will be this, I think, for me. So I don't know, I might not make too much progress too quickly, but yeah. So that is my last work in progress. Work in progress are they're not super exciting right now. I just kind of need to finish off. I need to finish off the sheep socks and then the tree ornaments, and then that's everything that I'm gonna send to my family, and then I feel like I'd be free, free from Christmas knits. So oh, that's my main focus right now, and then I can get on with like, you know, whatever I'm gonna make next for myself. I'm actually eyeing up the Ingrid sweater by Petite Knits, so I really wanted to make that for a long time actually, so I feel like it would look really nice in like navy mohair, but that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. But yeah, stay tuned. I will keep you guys informed, of course. Lastly, I guess yarn acquisition. So I haven't bought much recently actually. I tend to be quite good actually about, usually I just buy a yarn for when I've got an actual project in mind, so I don't go too crazy. Although recently, well, there's a really nice store here in Tokyo called Walnut Tokyo, and it's run by Amirisu, which is I don't know, maybe you guys have heard of them. They release like a quarterly pattern book. And they also have a bunch of yarns that they make themselves, but the store also sells just import yarn from various different places all over the world, like different companies. So yeah, I was in there the other day just checking out. I actually got the yarn for the Sunday socks from there. So if I kind of want something a little bit nicer, that's the place I'll go. But yeah, whilst I was there, I really wanted to just treat myself to something, so I picked up this lovely yarn. It's Amirisu Sock Hand-dyed 100% superwash merino wool. Isn't that label so cute? Look at the little acorn on there. But it's just lovely, like lots of purples, whites, bits of blue maybe, and then just a hint of pink at the end. I just thought this would be really cute. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like bubblegum candy. The colorway is actually called Kakigori, which is it's the Japanese word for shaved ice. It's like a kind of dessert where you have a bunch of shaved ice and on top you put like syrup. So yeah, kind of similar vibes. But yeah, it's so soft, it's so squishy. And yeah, I'm gonna make this into my first pair of socks. So yeah, I'm just really trying to like buy some like nicer yarns, because it just, yeah, I used to think I didn't enjoy socks, but since buying like a few like nicer yarns, I found it a lot more enjoyable. So that's gonna be the plan moving forward. Nicer yarns, nicer socks. But yeah, so I'm excited to have my own first pair of socks. That will be very fun. I keep watching Casuallyknit Handmade, I think, and she's making so many socks that are so cute, and just talking about like how much she enjoys her socks, her handmade socks, and I want to live that life. That's the life I want. So yeah, I'm gonna embark upon my own handmade sock drawer, a drawer full of handmade socks, I should say. But yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, I think that's everything that I have to show you. this has already been like such a long video that I'm gonna stop it here. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me on my first podcast. I'm so excited to carry on. It's been like, I don't know, it sounds so stupid, but like it's been so much fun just like talking about what I've made, what I'm gonna make. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. But yeah, I will be back with another episode whenever I have made more. So stay tuned and see you in the next one. Bye.